What if I told you a simple $1 coin in your pocket could secretly be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Sounds crazy, right? But today we're diving into the world of rare Sacagawea dollar coins from 2000, including two extremely valuable versions collectors are obsessed with, especially the mysterious ones with missing date or mint marks. These tiny details can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. And the best part? You might already have one without even realizing it. So before you spend that dollar coin, watch this video carefully, because what you're about to see could completely change how you look at your spare change forever. 2000p Sacagawea $1 coin. The year 2000 marked a bold new beginning for United States coinage. After years of limited success with the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the United States Mint introduced a completely redesigned dollar coin intended to finally capture public interest. The result was the Sacagawea $1 coin, a golden-colored piece that stood out immediately from previous designs. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark, this coin was produced in enormous numbers. Over 767 million coins were minted in Philadelphia alone during its first year. This staggering mintage was driven by high expectations, the belief that this coin would circulate widely and replace paper dollars in everyday use. But something unexpected happened. Despite its beauty and historical significance, the Sacagawea dollar did not achieve the widespread circulation the mint had hoped for. Millions of coins were stored away in vaults, never entering daily use. And yet, paradoxically, millions did circulate, passing through hands, vending machines, banks, and cash drawers, slowly transforming over time. Now let's address something important right away. There is often confusion when it comes to mint marks. A 2000p Sacagawea dollar is from the Philadelphia Mint. A coin with a D mint mark is from the Denver Mint. These are distinct coins, and collectors pay close attention to this detail. So when we talk about the 2000p Sacagawea dollar, we are focusing specifically on the Philadelphia issue, even when it appears in dirty, circulated condition. And that condition is where things get fascinating. At first glance, a dirty coin might seem undesirable. Dull color, uneven surfaces, dark patches, it doesn't have the shine collectors usually seek. But with the Sacagawea dollar, the story is different. These coins are made from a manganese brass alloy, giving them their signature golden appearance. But this alloy reacts strongly to environmental exposure. Over time, coins that circulate develop unique surface characteristics. Oils from hands, air exposure, humidity, and contact with other materials all contribute to changes in color and texture. A once bright coin can turn deep gold, brown, or even display streaks and patches that look almost artistic. And here's the key insight. This dirty appearance is often not damage, it is natural aging. Collectors are increasingly recognizing that naturally toned or aged coins can be more interesting than perfectly clean ones. Each dirty Sacagawea dollar becomes unique, a one-of-a-kind result of its journey through time. Now let's explore the design, because this coin carries one of the most meaningful images in modern U.S. coinage. The obverse was designed by Glenna Goodacre and features Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who played a crucial role in guiding the Lewis and Clark expedition. She is shown carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. There is no confirmed historical portrait of Sacagawea, so this image is an artistic interpretation. It was modeled after a modern Shoshone woman, giving the design authenticity while honoring heritage. Her expression is calm, confident, and forward-looking. There is strength in her gaze, a sense of purpose that reflects her historical significance. The inclusion of her child adds emotional depth, transforming the coin into more than just currency. It becomes a tribute to resilience, guidance, and motherhood. On a circulated, dirty coin, these details may appear softened. The high points, such as her cheek and the folds of her clothing, wear down over time. But even in worn condition, the design remains powerful. The reverse, created by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., features a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars. These stars represent the number of states in the Union during the early 1800s. The eagle, captured mid-flight, symbolizes freedom, expansion, and the spirit of a growing nation. In dirty condition, the eagle's feathers may appear less defined, and the surface may show uneven toning. but this only adds to the individuality of the coin. Now we move into one of the most exciting areas for collectors, errors and varieties. The year 2000 is especially important because it is the first year of issue for the Sacagawea dollar. First-year coins often carry a higher likelihood of minting anomalies, and this series is no exception. One of the most famous varieties associated with the 2000 Sacagawea dollar is the Cheerios dollar. These coins were included in cereal boxes as part of a promotional campaign. They feature a different reverse design detail, with enhanced tail feathers on the eagle. While most collectors will never encounter one, it represents the kind of hidden rarity that makes this series so exciting. Other errors include double dyes, where parts of the design appear duplicated, off-center strikes, where the image is misaligned, and die cracks, which create raised lines across the surface. Even small errors can significantly increase a coin's value, especially when clearly visible. Now imagine combining that with a dirty, naturally toned surface. A coin with both an error and unique toning becomes highly collectible, something that stands out from the millions of standard examples. Market value for the 2000 Sacagawea dollar varies widely depending on condition and features. In typical circulated condition, most coins are worth around $1 to $2. Slightly better examples with appealing toning might reach $3 to $5. Coins with noticeable errors can range from $10 to several hundred, depending on the type and severity. The rare Cheerios variety can command thousands of dollars in high grades. But beyond price, there is something else driving interest. Accessibility. These coins are not locked away in museums. They are still out there, in circulation, in collections, in forgotten drawers. Anyone can find one. Anyone can examine it. And anyone can discover something unusual. That sense of possibility is what fuels modern coin collecting. A dirty 2000 Sacagawea dollar might not look impressive at first glance. But to a trained eye, it could reveal subtle details, unusual patterns, or even hidden errors. It becomes a puzzle, a story waiting to be understood. And there is also a philosophical element to this. In a world where perfection is often prized, the Sacagawea dollar in dirty condition reminds us that imperfection has its own beauty. Where tells a story. Toning reflects time. Each mark is a record of use, of movement, of history in action. For some collectors, that authenticity is more valuable than pristine condition. Of course, this brings us to an important warning. Never clean your coins. It may be tempting to restore shine, to make the coin look new again. But cleaning removes the natural surface and can leave behind scratches or unnatural brightness. This often reduces value significantly. A dirty coin, left untouched, preserves its originality, and that originality is what collectors respect. As we step back and look at the bigger picture, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin represents a fascinating intersection of history, art, and everyday life. It was created with high hopes, produced in massive numbers, and then quietly settled into a role as an overlooked piece of currency. Yet within that ordinary existence lies extraordinary potential. Hidden errors, unique toning, historical significance, all waiting to be discovered by those willing to look closer. So the next time you come across a Sacagawea dollar that looks worn, dull, or even dirty, it might be a piece of history, a collector's opportunity, and a reminder that even the most common objects can hold uncommon value, if you know where to look. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern numismatic anomalies ever reported, a Sacagawea Native American dollar coin that defies expectations, challenges collectors, and raises a single question. How can something so imperfect become so incredibly rare? Sacagawea Native American $1 coin without date and mint mark in dirty condition. The Sacagawea dollar, first introduced in the year 2000, was created to honor the Shoshone woman Sacagawea, who played a crucial role as a guide and interpreter during the Lewis and Clark expedition in the early 19th century. Designed by sculptor Glenna Goodacker on the obverse, and initially featuring a soaring eagle on the reverse by Thomas D. Rogers, the coin was later transitioned into what we now call the Native American $1 coin series, starting in 2009, where each reverse design changes annually to celebrate Native American contributions to U.S. history. Under normal circumstances, every Sacagawea or Native American dollar coin contains clear identifying features. On the obverse, you'll you'll find the portrait of Sacagawea with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, secured on her back. Around her are inscriptions including Liberty and In God We Trust. Though after 2009, the date, mint mark, and motto, E Pluribus Unum, were moved to the edge of the coin. This edge lettering is crucial. It's not just a design choice, it's a security and identification feature. Every legitimate coin must have it. So what happens when a coin appears without a date, without a mint mark, and possibly even without edge lettering altogether? That's where the mystery begins. Coins missing their edge inscriptions are known as edge lettering errors, and they became particularly notable in the early years of the presidential dollar series, especially in 2007. However, similar errors have occasionally been reported in Sacagawea and Native American dollars as well. These errors occur during the minting process when the coin bypasses the edge lettering machine entirely, leaving it blank. Collectors often refer to these as godless dollars when In God We Trust is missing, but in the case of Sacagawea dollars, the absence of the date and mint mark makes the coin appear almost anonymous. Now add another layer, condition. The coin we're discussing isn't pristine. It's described as dirty, possibly heavily circulated, maybe even stained or discolored. At first glance, this would seem to diminish its value. In traditional numismatics, condition is king. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and higher grades command higher prices. Dirt, wear, scratches, these usually reduce desirability. But error coins rewrite the rules. In the world of mint errors, rarity often outweighs condition. A heavily circulated coin with a dramatic minting flaw can still command significant attention and value. Why? Because the error itself is the story. It's the uniqueness, the deviation from perfection, that draws collectors in. Let's talk about how such a coin could exist. The minting process for these dollar coins involves several stages. First, blank planchets are created from metal strips. These blanks are then fed into presses where dies strike the designs onto both sides of the coin. After striking, the coins move to an edge lettering machine, which imprints the date, mint mark, and mottos onto the edge. If a coin skips this final step, due to a mechanical failure, misalignment, or human oversight, it exits the mint without those critical details. These coins can then enter circulation unnoticed, blending in with millions of others. But sharp-eyed collectors and everyday people sometimes catch them. Now, let's consider mintage. The Sacagawea and Native American dollar coins are produced in relatively low quantities compared to other circulating coins, especially in recent years where demand has decreased. Many are struck primarily for collectors rather than general circulation. This already limits the pool. When you factor in the probability of an error, especially one that escapes quality control, the numbers shrink dramatically. Exact mintage figures for error coins are impossible to determine. The U.S. Mint does not track or release data on errors. However, based on auction records and collector reports, edge lettering omissions are considered scarce, and examples from certain years are rarer than others. Now let's address the dirty condition. A coin described as dirty might have environmental damage, toning, or residue from years of handling. In some cases, what appears to be dirt could actually be natural toning. Chemical changes on the surface that can sometimes enhance value if visually appealing. However, if the dirt obscures key features or results from improper storage, it may lower the grade. But here's the twist. On a coin missing its date and mint mark, the lack of clarity might actually amplify the intrigue. Collectors might be more forgiving of condition because the error itself is so visually striking. Authentication becomes critical. Because of the unusual nature of such coins, professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are often used to verify authenticity. They examine whether the missing edge lettering is a genuine mint error or the result of post-mint tampering. For example, someone could theoretically grind down the edge to remove inscriptions, but this would leave telltale signs under magnification. A genuine mint error will show no evidence of alteration. The edge will appear smooth and consistent, just as it left the mint, only without the expected lettering. Now, let's talk market value. Prices for Sacagawea dollar error coins vary widely depending on the type and severity of the error, as well as collector demand. Edge lettering errors have sold anywhere from $50 to several $100s in circulated condition. In higher grades, or with particularly dramatic errors, values can reach into the thousands. A coin that completely lacks a date and mint mark due to missing edge lettering could reasonably fall into the range of $200 to $1,000 or more, depending on verification and demand. If the coin is authenticated, well-documented, and marketed effectively, it could attract serious interest at auction. Collector interest in these coins is strong, particularly among those who specialize in modern eras. These collectors are always on the lookout for unusual pieces, coins that tell a story, that represent a moment when the minting process didn't go as planned. And that's what makes this coin so compelling. It's not just a piece of metal. It's a mistake that slipped through one of the most controlled manufacturing processes in the world. It's a silent anomaly, circulating unnoticed until someone stops, looks closely, and realizes something is missing. In a world where perfection is expected, imperfection becomes extraordinary. So the next time you come across a seemingly ordinary dollar coin, maybe even one that looks a little dirty, a little worn, take a closer look. Check the edge. Look for the date, the mint mark. Because hidden in plain sight, you might just find a coin that breaks all the rules and holds a story worth far more than its face value.